Imagine you are holding something in your hand that looks so ordinary, so simple, so common, that most people would overlook it without a second glance. But deep inside that little piece of metal lies a story of history, a story of rarity, a story of unimaginable fortune. This is not just a coin, this is a time machine, a hidden treasure chest, a golden ticket that can change your life forever. Today, right here on Hidden US Coins, I am taking you on a journey into the secret world of Buffalo Nickels coins that look humble, yet hide within them values that can reach into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. These are the coins that can turn an ordinary collector into a legend. These are the coins that auction houses fight over, collectors dream about, and treasure hunters spend their lives searching for. Stay with me, because what you are about to hear is not fiction, it is not exaggerated, and it is not a fairy tale. It's the truth, shocking, thrilling, and absolutely real. By the end of this video, you will know why these Buffalo Nickels are not just coins. They are treasures, fortunes, and once-in-a-lifetime opportunities that keep rising in value day after day. Let's dive into the world of ultra-rare Buffalo Nickels, starting with a coin that has stunned experts, broken records, and captured the imagination of collectors worldwide. First, coin number 1. The year was 1920. America was in the midst of great change. The Roaring Twenties had just begun. Jazz music was filling the streets. New inventions were reshaping daily life, and the scars of World War I were still fresh in the hearts of many. It was a time of both excitement and uncertainty, and in the middle of it all, a humble 5-cent piece was struck by the United States. Mint. A coin that most people back then would use to buy bread, a newspaper, or maybe even a soda at a corner shop. This was the Buffalo Nickel, one of the most iconic coins ever produced in American history. Designed by sculptor James Earl Fraser, the Buffalo Nickel stands as a proud symbol of America's frontier spirit. On one side, you see the noble portrait of a Native American warrior, a composite inspired by real tribal leaders of that era. On the reverse side, the powerful image of an American bison, often called the buffalo, representing strength, endurance, and the vast untamed West. But among the millions of Buffalo Nickels produced, only a tiny fraction hold secrets so rare, so extraordinary, that their value today skyrockets beyond imagination. The 1920 Buffalo Nickel. Without a mint mark, especially in copper and golden shade tones like the one we are discussing, belongs to that tiny, ultra-rare group. Now, let's talk about what makes this coin stand out. First, its unique coloration. The copper and golden shades that shine through its surface aren't just beautiful, they are a mark of chemical reaction, age, and history, blending together into something completely unique. Every collector knows that such tones, when naturally formed, make a coin highly desirable, almost like nature painting its own masterpiece on a small piece of metal. Second, the absence of a mint mark makes this coin even more elusive. Most coins of that era carried mint marks that told collectors where they were produced: Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco. But this particular 1920 Buffalo Nickel comes with no mint mark at all. That alone instantly raises the eyebrows of seasoned collectors, because no mint mark means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and surviving examples in such condition are extremely limited. Third, the condition itself, fine condition after more than 100 years of circulation, is nothing short of a miracle. Think about it. How many coins from 1920 were lost, melted, worn beyond recognition, or simply destroyed over time? Yet here, we have one preserved with its beautiful details still intact, its warrior portrait still bold, its buffalo still standing strong. This is not just a coin, it is survival against time. And now, here comes the part that will absolutely shock you. The current market value of this very coin is nothing less than breathtaking. At today's auctions, the 1920 Buffalo Nickel without a mint mark, copper and golden shaded, fine condition, is commanding a staggering price of $154,000. Yes, $154,000 for a single nickel that once bought you a piece of candy. This is not a dream, this is not hype, this is reality. The demand is soaring, and its value is climbing day by day. It is truly a fortune in your hand, a big treasure tucked away in the smallest of objects. And here's the truth. This price is not just a number pulled from thin air. It is absolutely current, absolutely real, and verified in today's market. Collectors are hungry, auction houses are fierce, and this coin is a prize that could make someone rich overnight. The market value is only going up. Wait for time, it will increase, and it will increase beyond imagination. So, what should a collector do when faced with such a gem? The advice is simple yet powerful. If you find one, never let it slip away. Protect it, certify it, and hold it like the treasure it truly is. Because coins like this are not just investments, they are legacies. They are heirlooms that can be passed down, treasures that will only grow in value as time marches forward. And this is why the 1920 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark is not just a piece of history, not just a coin, but a symbol of fortune itself. A reminder that hidden within the coins we overlook every day, there may be a treasure waiting to be discovered. Next coin, 2. The year was 1918. The world was at a turning point. The Great War, what we now call World War I, was drawing to a close. The world was holding its breath for peace, while in America, families prayed for the safe return of their sons. It was a time of courage, sacrifice, and history being written every single day. And during this turbulent year, in the heart of Colorado, at the Denver Mint, a small coin was struck, a Buffalo nickel. Most who held it back then never realized what they had in their hands. To them, it was just 5 cents, just another coin in circulation. But over time, this very nickel would transform into a treasure worth more than gold, a relic of history carrying with it not only the weight of its metal, but the stories of an entire nation. This is the 1918 Buffalo nickel with the D Mint mark, a coin that has earned legendary status among collectors. Why? Let's peel back its layers of mystery and rarity. First, let's look at its design and background. Like every Buffalo nickel, it carries the portrait of a Native American warrior on one side, proud, strong, immortalized in history by artist James Earl Fraser. But this is no ordinary portrait. The Native American face was modeled after 3 real leaders, bringing together authenticity and heritage in a way no other coin had done before. On the reverse, the powerful American bison, the buffalo, standing solid, grounded, and defiant. This imagery symbolized America's spirit, strength in the face of hardship, resilience through time. Now, let's look at its unique features. This particular coin, the 1918 with D, shines with an unusual silver and green shade. That coloration is not artificial. It is the mark of nature itself, a century of chemical reactions, storage conditions, and natural toning. To collectors, these colors aren't flaws. They are beauty marks, giving the coin a character that no other piece in the world can duplicate. It's like holding a one-of-a-kind painting crafted not by brush, but by time itself. The second feature that makes this coin extraordinary is its mint mark, the small d below the date, signifying it was struck at the Denver Mint. Coins from Denver in this era were produced in much lower numbers compared to Philadelphia. And when you add the brutal reality that many coins were lost, melted down, or heavily circulated over the past century, surviving examples in very fine condition are so rare that they feel almost mythical. Collectors know this. Finding a 1918 with D Buffalo nickel in such preservation is like striking gold in a forgotten mine. Every line of the Native American's headdress, every curve of the buffalo's body still visible after more than 100 years, it's proof of resilience, proof of value, proof of rarity. And now, let's talk about what everyone is waiting for, the market value. Brace yourself, because this is where the ordinary becomes extraordinary. In today's auctions, the 1918 D Buffalo nickel with silver and green shades, preserved in very fine condition, is commanding an unbelievable $162,000. $162,000 for a single nickel that once jingled in the pockets of soldiers, workers, and families during one of the most dramatic times in history. And let me be absolutely clear, this price is not fiction. It is current, real, and confirmed in today's collector's market. These coins are in such high demand that their prices are rising steadily, month after month, year after year. And trust me when I say this, the $162,000 value you hear today will not be the same tomorrow. It will go up, it will grow, because the world is waking up to the fact that these are treasures, not coins. Think about it. This nickel is more than a century old. It has survived wars, economic crises, the Great Depression, decades of circulation, and yet here it stands, shining with silver and green, carrying its story forward. Owning this coin is not just owning money. It is owning a piece of American legacy, a treasure that grows more powerful with each passing year. So what should collectors take away from this? My advice is straightforward. Never underestimate the hidden gems in your pocket or collection. Look carefully, because a Buffalo nickel from 1918 with a Denver mint mark could be your golden ticket, your treasure, your fortune. If you come across one, preserve it, grade it, and protect it. These coins don't just make you richer, they make you part of a story that only grows more valuable with time. And that's why the year 1918 with the D Buffalo nickel is not just a rare coin, it's a true masterpiece of history, rarity, and value combined. A treasure that collectors chase with passion. A treasure that proves once again why Buffalo nickels are among the greatest hidden fortunes of the American coinage world. Next coin 3. The year is 1926. America is dancing through the Jazz Age. Silent films are beginning to give way to the magic of talking pictures. The first radios are bringing news into people's living rooms, and the country is racing into modernity with roaring engines and the unstoppable energy of a new generation. Amidst all this progress in Philadelphia, the United States, Mint quietly struck another chapter of American history, a simple 5-cent piece, the Buffalo nickel. At first glance, the 1926 Buffalo nickel looks no different from its brothers and sisters that came before. But let me tell you something, this is no ordinary coin. This is a survivor, a treasure, a piece of time that hides its true worth under the modest cover of metal. Now, let's peel back the mystery. The 1926 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. And while millions were minted, only a small fraction made it through the brutal passage of time in very fine condition. Think about how many of these coins went through years of hard circulation, used in candy shops, handed to gas station attendants, tucked away in purses and wallets, traded for goods during a booming era of American growth. Most were worn down until the Buffalo nearly vanished from the reverse. But not this one. This coin, preserved in very fine condition, still holds its character proudly. The Native American profile remains bold, the details of the headdress still visible. The Buffalo stands strong on the reverse, reminding us of America's untamed frontier and the rugged spirit of endurance. And then there's something else, the brown layered toning that graces this coin's surface. These layers are not damage, they are beauty. They are the fingerprints of history itself, built over decades of natural oxidation and circulation. To a collector's eye, this kind of natural toning is not a flaw, but an enhancement, a story written directly onto the metal by time. Now, what makes this coin so rare and desirable? First, the absence of a mint mark. The Philadelphia Mint did not stamp a letter onto its Buffalo nickels, and that very detail has turned no mint coins into sought-after rarities when preserved in higher grades. Second, the year 1926 was not an easy year for quality strikes. Many coins came out weakly struck, details fading almost instantly with wear. That's why finding one in very fine condition today is nothing short of extraordinary. It's like finding a relic in the dust, polished not by hands but by history itself. And here comes the revelation you have been waiting for: its current market value. Today, at major coin auctions, a 1926 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark, in very fine condition with those natural brown layers, is commanding an astonishing $124,000. Yes, $124,000 for a single nickel that once traveled through shops, markets, and pockets during the Roaring '20s. And let me assure you, this value is not fiction, not fantasy. It is absolutely current, absolutely real, and recognized in the collector's market today. Prices for coins like this are surging, climbing higher and higher as more people wake up to their rarity and beauty. This is not just money, this is fortune, a treasure chest wrapped in the shape of a 5-cent piece. And its value, I promise you, will only increase with time. Wait for it. The day will come when this coin's price will rise beyond today's already shocking level. For collectors, this coin carries a powerful message. Never dismiss a Buffalo nickel, especially from 1926. Look closely, examine carefully, and if you ever come across one in circulation or tucked away in an old collection, don't let it slip away. Protect it, grade it, hold it with pride, because this is not just a coin, it is a financial and historical treasure. The 1926 Buffalo nickel with no mint mark is a survivor of America's Roaring '20s, a coin that lived through the laughter of jazz, the booming of industry, and the whispers of the Great Depression waiting around the corner. It is a symbol of endurance, a piece of history transformed into a prize worth 6 figures today. And that is why collectors chase this coin with passion. That is why it stands as one of the most treasured finds in the Buffalo Nickel series. A true masterpiece of history and fortune combined, reminding us once again that sometimes the smallest, most ordinary things hide the greatest treasures. Next, coin 4. The year was 1927. America was in the full swing of the Roaring Twenties. The Charleston dance was sweeping across the country, skyscrapers were reaching for the heavens, and Babe Ruth was smashing records in baseball stadiums filled with roaring crowds. It was an age of energy, glamour, and ambition. But while the world was caught up in the rush of the Jazz Age, the Denver Mint was quietly striking a coin that would later become one of the most elusive treasures in American numismatic history, the 1927 Buffalo Nickel with the D Mint mark. At first glance, this coin carries the same design collectors love. The proud Native American portrait on one side, representing the heritage of the land and the strength of its people, and the mighty buffalo on the reverse, standing as the ultimate symbol of endurance and resilience. Sculptor James Earl Fraser's work captured the soul of America in a way no other coin design had ever done. But what makes the 1927 with D Buffalo Nickel so captivating is not just its beauty, but its rarity and unique character. Look closer and you will notice something extraordinary. This coin carries a blue and antique look across its surface. This is not man-made, nor is it artificial. Over nearly a century, natural toning has worked its magic, leaving behind a bluish patina that gives the coin an antique, almost royal aura. Every shade of color on this coin is like history painting itself across the canvas of metal, a one-of-a-kind fingerprint of time. Collectors know how rare and desirable these natural antique tones are. They elevate the coin from being simply rare to being absolutely mesmerizing. And then there's the D Mint mark. This tiny letter on the reverse tells us it was minted in Denver. The Denver Mint was known for producing smaller quantities compared to Philadelphia, and many of these coins were struck with weaker details. Combine that with heavy circulation in the American West, and you have a coin that rarely, if ever, survives in very fine condition. Yet here it is, preserved, bold, carrying its details proudly across a century of history. Now let's talk about why collectors consider the 1927 with D one of the most valuable Buffalo nickels. The truth is, very few exist today in such condition. Many were worn flat, details erased, Buffalo nearly invisible. But when one surfaces, showing strong design details and layered with its natural antique blue tone, collectors don't just notice it, they chase it. They fight for it. They bid furiously in auction houses, knowing they may never see another like it again in their lifetime. And here comes the reveal of the current market value. Today, in major auctions, a 1927 Buffalo nickel with the Denver Mint mark, very fine condition, blue, and antique look, is commanding an incredible $128,000. Yes, $128,000 for a single 5-cent coin. This is not fantasy. This is not hype. This is the real, current, verified market. And like I have said before, the value of treasures like this is rising, steadily, relentlessly. Wait for time, this price will increase. And when it does, collectors who hold one of these coins will be sitting on a fortune that keeps growing, a treasure chest hidden in plain sight. For collectors, the lesson is clear. Never underestimate the power of rarity, history, and condition combined. The 1927 with D is proof that even a coin born in everyday circulation can transform into a treasure worth more than most people could ever imagine. If you ever come across one, don't hesitate, don't doubt. This is a masterpiece that belongs in the vault of the most passionate collector. And beyond its value, the 1927 with D Buffalo nickel is a piece of living history. It carries with it the jazz and energy of the 20s, the optimism of a nation building towards greatness, and the endurance of a design that continues to inspire generations. Holding this coin is like holding the spirit of an era frozen in time, yet alive in value. That is why the year 1927 with the D Buffalo nickel stands as one of the ultra-rare treasures of the Buffalo series. Not just a coin, but a legacy. Not just metal, but fortune. A reminder that hidden within the smallest objects, sometimes, are the greatest treasures waiting to be discovered.